Confirm me. All of you get my voice on screen. Those are attending in online. Guys, please confirm to me. All of you get my voice on screen. Guys, please confirm to me. All of you get my voice on screen. Those are attending in online. Guys, please confirm to me. All of you get my voice on screen. Those are attending in online. Okay. Right, sir. So in the last session, just we understand the content. All right, sir. Then what content can be added there in the last class? No. Any idea, guys? Then what we completed there in the last session? Just introduction for Springboard are given. Only here we understood like what their introduction to the Springboard content here we have started there. All right, 1 minute, guys. Okay. All right. Now let us understand the Springboard content. What exactly the points here we understood about the Springboard here. Springboard is an open source Java based framework developed by Pivotal team. Springboard makes it easy to create standalone production grade Spring based applications that we can just run. Spring Boot allows us to create a standalone application in order to create any type of enterprise application like web applications, distributed applications, and so on, where it's very simple to execute a standalone application. Spring Boot is able to provide production ready features like what there metrics, health checks, externalizable configurations, and so on. Springboard simplifies bootstrapping the Spring application. Spring Boot was designed on the base of the existing Spring framework in order to simplify and speed up the Spring-based application development. Spring Boot simplifies the Spring application development by making all the configurations as auto configurations, where developers are not required to focus more on configurations rather than concentrating on business logic. And then after this, Spring Boot or Spring framework requires a Spring configuration file, but the Spring Boot doesn't require a configuration file. But where we can provide all the configuration details now. All right, where we are able to provide all the configuration details now. All right, to provide configuration details, configurations through properties file or YAML file. What is this YAML file? I'll discuss with you. No need to worry for it. Okay. Right, sir. Observe carefully. Next one is what there. When compared with the Spring framework, 1 minute. When compared with the Spring framework, Spring Boot reduces application execution time. Then it will improve application performance. Next one is when compared with the Spring framework, Spring Boot is able to improve productivity. Spring Boot follows opinionated default configurations approach to reduce developers' efforts. That is, Spring Boot avoids writing lots of boilerplate code, annotations, and XML configurations. Okay, right. So Spring Boot provides a simplified environment to integrate Spring Boot applications with the Spring JDBC, Spring ORM, and some kind of content kit. After this, Spring framework doesn't have the internal embedded servers, but Spring Boot has the internal embedded servers like Tomcat, Jetty, Undertow, and so on to prepare and execute Spring-based web applications in a simplified manner. All right, Spring framework doesn't have the internal embedded databases, but Spring Boot has the internal embedded databases like H2 and so on, some other databases now. Right, then after this, Spring Boot has provided internal tools like command line interfaces to run and test the Spring Boot applications in a simplified manner. Okay, Spring Boot allows us to develop applications by using Java or by using Groovy. Spring Boot has the internal building tools like Maven and Gradle to develop the Spring Boot applications in a simplified manner. So finally here I given that Spring Boot is what there extension to Spring, embedded servers, embedded in-memory databases, no XML configurations, less annotations, auto configurations, and internal Maven and Gradle. Like this, here we are having this content here. Observe carefully. Apart from this, here what we are getting now. Okay. Now here we are going to understand like what there. Now here we have to understand like what there. Spring Boot features. What exactly the features of the Spring Boot? Guys, already we had some information about the Spring Boot features in the last class, no? But some of the features are existed here. That features one by one, we are going to understand. Even though some features are repeated, but I need to give a list of these features here. Now try to understand clearly. Right, sir? Now here, recognize this. What are the various features here we are able to have in our Spring Boot there? Now observe carefully. Now, first of all, now tell me what we are able to understand that Spring Boot. What is the main feature of the Spring Boot, guys? The very first one here, I'm telling to you, the Spring application. So, of course, this is like what there one annotation here we are going to use the Spring application. This is the first feature, one of the first feature here. What is the Spring application? What exactly the meaning of the Spring application? All of you understand it clearly. This Spring application is a class actually. It bootstrap the Spring application. It bootstrap the Spring application and it has like what there a method run method. It has like what the run method. So by executing that run method only, that Spring Boot application is going to be started. The Spring Boot application is going to be started just by executing run method from the Spring application. Understand guys what I'm telling there? Right, sir? So the point is what this Spring application, just only one statement I'm going to talk about all the features, guys. But in the future, again, all the concepts we are going to understand again here. But as part of the introduction part now, we are going to understand some of the points here. So Spring Boot application. Now what we are thinking about the Spring Boot application actually, it is a class. It has a run method to bootstrap the Spring application. It bootstrap the Spring application. That's the main point here we can understand now. Right, sir? So that Spring application execution will be started right from this particular point only. The Spring application execution will start right from what there? From this particular run method only. The Spring Boot application. Right, so that's okay now. This is a point here we can understand. Next one is after this, after completion of this particular Spring application here, there we have to understand externalized configurations. Sorry. Externalized configurations. What's the meaning of this externalized configurations here now? Observe carefully. What is the meaning of it now? An application configurations here I want to externalize. Okay. So the main intention of these externalizable configurations is to share the project configurations to multiple missions to the multiple developers, or multiple developers can work with the same project automatically. If you externalize the configurations, no, so multiple developers can work on the same project automatically, same code, multiple developers can work. Understand my point clearly? So because of that reason here, we are able to provide like what are there externalizable configurations. Right, sir. Understand my point here clearly? Spring Boot is giving an option to the developers to externalize the application configurations giving an option to the developers to externalize the application configurations. Okay, for what purpose this one? Work with in order to work with the the same project, and same application code. 1 minute. In order to work with the same project in multiple environments. Multiple environments are by multiple developers. Right. So like this here, we are able to provide some kind of configurations. Right. Observe carefully. Now this is like what their externalizable configurations. All right. So then how we are able to externalize these configurations, that we are going to understand the feature. But the point is like what then exact the requirement here we provided now. All right. So then apart from this, the third one is like what there we can understand profiles. This is one of the important topic in the content, guys. Guys, now tell me, previously we understood this profiles part here. Those who are coming from Spring Framework already given some information about this profiles in Spring core module also we understood these profiles, guys. Now tell me what you are able to get about these profiles. Right, sir? Any idea? Different environments, different configurations. Right, that's nice. Different environment, different configurations. All right, sir. What different environments are available? Tell me, guys. What different environments, guys? Now tell me. All right, sir. All right. Now, okay, the point is what there. It's able to provide. It is able to provide. It's able to provide. It's able to provide different configurations for the different environments, different configurations in a different environments, different configurations in different environments of the project. Like where the different configurations required, where the different configurations for the project are including what are the different different things are including there. Observe carefully, like server configurations. Next one is what the database configurations, and so on and so on and so on. So many, and where the different environments are including dev, production, and QA. Dev, QA, and production. Guys, then what is this QA? Testing, right? That we can use. Got it or not? Yeah, QA team or whatever it may be. Now, what next one here we are able to provide there after completion of this. After completion of this, the fourth one. After understanding these profiles, now the fourth one is what they're logging. Right, logging. What exactly this logging here? What we are understanding there? Right. Nowadays, in every enterprise application, logging support is required. Definitely, logging content is required here. Okay, then how this logging is going to be happen? How logging is existed here now? Then inside the Spring, in the Spring, in a not only the case of Spring, in everywhere. But how logging is useful in the case of the Spring Boot now? Right. So definitely, Spring Boot uses Commons logging tool. Commons logging tool, which is provided by Apache. Understand my point? Commons logging tool. Like so many things are available here supporting the Commons logging tool, Commons logging internally, and it is supporting the logging implementations. Spring Boot is supporting the logging implementations like what implementations are available here, what are the various implementations can know, like we can understand clearly. All right, Java provided logging. Java has provided Java.utility logging is available. That is one thing. Next one is what the log4j. Okay, log4j, SLF4j, SLF4, and so on. So many things are available, which are supported by logging module. Okay, right. So next one is after that internationalization. Another one can. What is the meaning of this internationalization? Spring Boot is able to support internationalization content here. That means providing messages or maybe or providing services as per the locality, on the basis of the locality. Right? First of all, identifying from which local the content is going on here, from which local that content is going on. No, that means from which local requests are coming from the users there. Right? On the base of that local here, we are able to provide the content. We are able to provide the services here, all services, whatever the services here we want to get, that services here we are able to provide on the basis of this content here. Okay. Right. So now understand it clearly. What we are understanding there, Spring Boot is able to support internationalization in order to provide local conventions or in order to provide services on the basis of the local conventions. In order to provide services on the basis of the local conventions. Right, sir. Right. Then after this, after completion of this, then what we are getting there clearly. Understand this internationalization here we completed here. Next one is JSON. JSON. Guys, now tell me what do you know about it? I think some of you might be the last class they are given information about JSON now. They have asked there. Now tell me guys, then what is this JSON actually? What is the meaning of it? For what purpose we are using JSON? Come on guys, what is this JSON? for cloud formation, microservices purpose, yeah, representing data in a JSON format. Yes, perfect. Yeah, exactly. Now, up to now here, what I am telling there. All right, sir. JSON Spring Boot is able to support JSON. Spring Boot is able to support JSON libraries in order to represent request and response data, request and response data in a JSON format. JSON is having its own format in the form of this key value pairs like this. Some format is available for representing data. Definitely, in the future, I'm going to use like what there, Postman or maybe Swagger. I'm going to use there. Postman main I'm going to use. While using Postman there, we are able to see how data is coming in the form of this JSON format. That definitely we are going to see that. So the data we are going to be represented in the form of key value pairs. No, all right. That data here we are able to get in the form of like what the JSON representations. All right, sir. Not only for this cloud formations, okay? So in so many requirements, we are able to use what there the JSON, especially in microservices or maybe microservices. Especially we are going to use that mainly in Spring Boot. Also, we are going to use that mainly here. All right, sir. Now Spring Boot is able to support JSON libraries in order to represent the request and response in the data in the JSON format. Okay. Now again, Spring Boot is able to support JSON implementations. Like what are the various implementations that support here? JSON. This is one thing is available. Jackson. All right, so now then what next one get? JSON B. Like this. Number of things are existed here now. Right. So then apart from this, next one is what there? Developing web applications. Spring Boot is providing environment to prepare web applications or not? Come on, guys, understand it, no? Spring Boot is providing web application development or not? Environment to prepare these web applications or not? Yes, definitely. Spring Boot is not only Spring Boot is almost all is an extension of the Spring. That means whatever the capabilities are available for Spring, all capabilities are available to what there Spring Boot. Understand it clearly. So the point is like what there Spring Boot is able to provide very good environment to prepare web applications. To prepare what their web applications. All right, so this is one thing here we can understand now. To provide a very good applications. That means prepare web applications, very good environment. Like this, so many things are available here. Of course, by having the embedded servers. Like now tell me guys, what embedded servers are available here? What embedded servers are available here? Embedded servers inside the Spring Boot app. Yesterday we are given some information there. What are the various embedded servers are available? Just we can understand like what there. Tomcat, Jetty, comma, Undertow, so and so on and so on and so on. So many things are existed here. Right, sir. With the help of these embedded servers, automatically Spring Boot is able to support for like what there web applications, web application content here able to provide. Right, sir. Understand it clearly. Next one is apart from this, working with SQL databases. Right, sir. Working with the databases now. Jayant, then what I am telling there, you can prepare your application separately. After preparing the application, don't run with the embedded servers. We can prepare WAR file. You can deploy that WAR file into any external server. Then that application will be executed. Understand it clearly. If you want to run the Spring Boot application in any other servers there, of course, just directly you can prepare the application, but don't run with embedded servers. Directly prepare WAR file for our application, then submit that WAR file to some explicit server. That's going to be happen. Right, sir. All right. Then working with the SQL servers, guys. Guys, now I'm telling to you there are two types of databases in outside. One is what their SQL databases, and second one is what their NoSQL databases. NoSQL database are not having SQL kind of support, but SQL database are having what their SQL support. Query languages are available there, but NoSQL database are not having SQL kind of technology. SQL kind of things are not available to execute our applications. That means to perform database operations. But Spring Boot is providing support for SQL databases and as well as NoSQL database also. Observe carefully. Spring Boot is able to perform. Spring Boot is able to perform, or maybe Spring Boot is able to support. SQL databases in order to perform database operations. In order to perform what their database operations. Right. Can you tell me, guys, what are the various examples here? What are the various examples for these SQL databases? Can you tell me? Come on, you already aware about it. What are the various databases? What are the various examples for these SQL databases? No response, guys. All right, all these things, Aragil, MySQL, and so on, PostgreSQL, and so on. All these things are like what they're SQL. That means it is able to provide support for SQL databases. All right, sir. Next one is what? After completion of this, next one is like what they're working with the NoSQL databases, where SQL queries we are not going to write, where through some other operations we are able to perform. So working with what they're NoSQL databases. Spring Boot is able to support NoSQL databases. NoSQL databases, like what are the NoSQL databases? NoSQL databases to perform database operations. Guys, can you tell me any example for NoSQL database? No, well known database are available here. Any example? It's definitely MongoDB. Right, so next one is what the Neo4j. Then apart from this, Cassandra. All right, sir. Elasticsearch. All right, sir. Like this, so many things are existed here. Some of the examples here are given there. We can understand. Sir, got it or not? Next one, after completion of this, another content is like what there. So features, number of features are available here. We can understand it clearly. Cache mechanisms. Cache. This feature is available. Guys, now tell me what is the purpose of this cache mechanisms in general? What is the purpose of these cache mechanisms? In the case of databases, we are able to use. In the case of like what there, like frequently, if you want to perform any operation frequently and the results are very same, then we are able to cache the results and we are able to reuse the results. That's my point here. We're able to cache the results and we are able to reuse the results here in our applications number of times now. So then Spring Boot is supporting some caching mechanisms also. Spring Boot is able to support caching mechanisms in order to store the results for the future utilizations. It supports that caching mechanisms. Okay, we can understand. Different mechanisms are available there also, but we are going to see that content in the future whenever we are going to talk about it. Next one is what there messaging. Right, guys, observe carefully. Then what next one here we are able to understand messaging. Right, sir. Messaging in the sense like what there JMS, Java Messaging API or interface, messaging API or interface, whatever it may be, JMS, Java Messaging Service. No, so this messaging service in the sense like what there in the network related applications, if any system are down or if any application down or if any service is down, then where we want to send some messages whenever it is getting ready, right? Anyway, that messaging service is available here. So Spring Boot is supporting messaging option in our applications. No, to provide that messaging option, it able to provide very good environment to integrate JMS API, Java Messaging Service is already provided by Java. Through that, we are able to provide like what that messaging content can. So Spring Boot is able to support the messaging APIs, messaging services in order to submit messages between services, messages between microservices or maybe services. Okay. All right, sir. Then what messaging APIs it able to support? To provide messaging in a Spring Boot applications, it will use internally JMS and its implementations. Okay. Then apart from this, next another important thing about this Spring Boot is what there accessing REST services, REST services, web services support. In a Spring Boot, there is a separate module. Spring Boot REST, there is a separate module. Spring Boot REST, there is a separate module, guys. This Spring Boot REST module is able to provide communication between services or accessing web services from other missions, or other technology, whatever it may be. It able to access web services which are provided by the application. So web services related thing. That means there is an integration of web services with our Spring Boot application. So this type of support is also existed inside like what there Spring Boot applications kernel. Let's understand this clearly. All right, so now Spring Boot is able to support accessing or RESTful services by using REST template and web clients. And so many approaches are available to access the REST services now. That we are going to understand anyway. Definitely, guys. Then I'm going to show this point effectively. These REST services, how to access these REST services from Spring Boot applications by using some REST template or by using like what are there web clients. Like so many options are available here to access that. That's why here we are using this. Next one is after completion of this, validation support is available. Validations. Spring Boot job is supporting bean validations. Right, sir. For the sake of giving that bean validations inside the Spring core module, validator framework is existed here. Validator part is available. Validator interface now. Of course, that Spring Boot is also using the same kind of thing. Not only that, it able to use some other validation content also What is that other validation content here? We can understand. Like other validation content should be like what there? Java Bean validations. Java Bean validation, core Java Bean validations content is available. That is existed. That is existed here. We can understand clearly. Okay. All right, sir. Now, what is the point here? We have to understand clearly. Spring Boot is able to support. Spring Boot is able to support validations over the data by using Bean validations. Bean validations provided by Hibernate. Provided by what there? Hibernate. This is exactly like what there? Bean validations. Next one is after that, sending mails. Sending mails. Sending mails in the sense which API, guys? Java Mail API is available. In J2SC, Java Mail API is available. Then it able to support for sending mails and receiving mails, this kind of things just by using what there? Java Mail API. Right. Spring Boot is able to support to send mails and to receive mails by using Java Mail API. It is able to support for the content key. Spring Boot is able to support for sending mails and is able to support sending mails and receiving mails by using Java Mail API. Okay. Next one is after this, after completion of this, another thing is like what I'm telling you. Distributed transactions case. Distributed transaction support. What support is available here? Distributed transaction support. What exactly the distributed transaction support? So in general, local transactions are available, distributed transactions are available. Simple examples. Local transactions in the sense the transactions within a single bank. But distributed transactions in the sense transactions between multiple banks. No. Transactions between what there? Multiple banks. Okay. So Spring Boot is able to support both local transactions and distributed transactions by using JTA implementations. Okay, then apart from this distributed transactions care, then what next one care we are able to provide there? Yes, application events and listeners. Event and notification model is also be available inside this Spring Boot. Okay, what is the meaning of this application events and listeners? That kind of content here. So Spring Boot is able to support event handling, event handling, event handling in order to perform some activities when the application events are raised. You know already when the events are going to be raised. In the case of Spring application, we have seen already. When Spring applications event handling is available, even user defined event handling also can be defined there. The same thing is supported inside the Spring Boot applications. Next one is after this, apart from this, Right, sir. Some admin features. Right, sir. Admin features. What exactly that admin features? No. All right. Admin features in the sense then what I'm telling there are activators. Some kind of activators, kind of implementations, or maybe something else. No. Like what I'm telling there. Uh, Observe carefully. Admin features care what I'm telling there. Just for the sake of this monitoring point of view, monitoring tools, maintaining monitoring tools, and maintaining some other like what the health checks or metrics. No. So this kind of things here we are able to see inside this admin features. No. Springboard is able to provide admin is able to support the admin features like checking application health, comma metrics, and so on and so on. So many through activators, through Springboard activators. Right, sir. Then apart from this, what we are understanding there, the next one is like what I'm telling to you, properties files. Yeah, this is a main component inside the Springboard now. Right. Properties files and as well as like what I'm telling there, AML files. Okay, properties files or AML files. What you are understanding there, Springboard is able to support is able to support properties files or AML files. Springboard is able to support properties files or AML files to provide application configuration details like server port numbers, then database configurations and so on. So these files here we are able to use clearly. Is that got it or not? Next one is after this internal build tools. Tell me guys, what are the various build tools there? Internal build tools, no? What are the various internal build tools here? Java Transaction API, JTA. Activators. What I give? No, the spelling is wrong. Yeah. What are the various build tools, guys? Now tell me. Springer supports Springer supports two types of Springer supports two build tools internally to build and execute the applications. What are the two build tools, guys? Now tell me. It supports like what there Maven and Gradle. Maven and what next one here? Gradle. Andy is not supporting. Andy is totally outdated, guys. Nobody's using that. Okay. Right. So then any other content here? Then Max almost all the features here we covered there. What it is providing actually. Right. Any other one here? It's okay. Now Max content here I provided what I remembered, what I know. If anything is recollected, then if anything is missing here in the future, I will include that. Right, so now these are exactly the meaning of like what there Spring Boot features. Okay, right, sir. Then after these key components in Spring Boot applications. Key components in what there Spring Boot applications. What are the various key components that existed here? Right, sir. Now observe carefully. Spring Boot is also a framework, right? Understand it now. Spring Boot is what there is a Spring framework only, right? So Spring Boot framework, Spring Boot framework has the following four components mainly. What are the various components? Mainly here, observe carefully. First one is what there Spring Boot starters. Spring Boot starters. Next one is Spring Boot auto configurator. Auto configurator. Yes, is existed actually. Spring Boot auto configurator. Third one is Spring Boot CLI, command line interface. Command line runners are available. Right. Next one is the fourth point is like what there Spring Boot activators. Spring Boot activators. So these are mainly the components what you are having inside the Spring Boot application. Right, sir. Then what next one here? Apart from this, no. Now here we have to understand each and every content. What exactly the meaning of Spring Boot starter? Why? Because if you know these concepts, no, then application development is very simple. Once if we complete these key components there, then I will start application development in Spring Boot. How we are going to prepare applications with the Spring Boot and all the contents here, we are going to understand clearly. Right, sir? But first here we have to understand what exactly the meaning of Spring Boot starters. What is the meaning of the Spring Boot auto configurator, Spring Boot CL, and Spring Boot activators? Awareness is required in all the concepts here. Then after that only we are going to see like what their application development. Okay. Right, guys. Then in the next class, can I continue the content here? I want to see this content here. Next one. Spring security is one of the features. Yes, exactly. The security is also included, I think so, right? Not available? Not included? Forgot it, no? Spring security is there. Yeah, definitely. We have to include the Spring security also. Mm, 20th one. Spring security. Observe carefully. Spring Boot is able to support almost all the security libraries like authentication and authorization mechanisms. Yeah, at web level, content is also existed. Yes, you can understand it clearly now. Okay, right. That's it. Security is also one of the feature. Yeah, cloud is okay. It's a common thing only. Then separately, we are not going to do that. But some libraries we have to use for Spring Cloud. It will come under like what their microservices part, Jayant. Extra libraries there we have to use, but Spring Boot is supporting that. But libraries we have to use extra. For the sake of cloud libraries are available, you know already. So many libraries there. Okay. Fine, fine. Jayant, what happened? Why you are not attending sessions? Now today only you came. Okay. All right, guys. Now this was attending org provided sessions. Yes, yes. Organization provided sessions. What sessions you are getting? On what platform you are getting sessions from your organization? Okay. Okay, fine. Spring Boot microservices with the Docker and Kubernetes. Yeah, good. And tomorrow we don't have session, guys. Give some gap on tomorrow. Then next week onwards, I'll plan for the classes there. Then just tomorrow, see, give some gap there. So I want to go for some content here, some updations, some content updations I want to perform there. Then tomorrow, just give gap. On Monday onwards, I'll continue this class. Then this is Spring Boot all three classes. Monday onwards, I'm going to take. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thanks a lot. I'll meet on Monday next class there. Next class same. Rohan, then what about my other schedules there? Can I stop other schedules? Hmm? Yeah, actually, then I have why I'm taking the classes at right from morning 6 o'clock. Even it's difficult even for me also. Then I can go with only two sessions here. With the two sessions, if I want to complete it, no, then it's okay. I'm ready for it. But it may take a lot of time. Just because by thinking about your benefit, I'm conducting all these things. Try to understand what I'm telling there. But repeatedly, you're asking this question to me. Yes. Right, sir. Then see, I have a plan. I want to complete the content here. Understand it? What I'm telling now. Right, sir. Just leave that option to me. How to conduct the classes and how to teach the subject, guys. I will take the responsibility of it. Okay. Right, so not required to request to me every time now regarding that. So then I will take the classes. Max, I'll try to complete the content with more content only. Why? Because then if I want to extend the sessions there, then it's morning to evening I have some other sessions now. And moreover, I want to have some time. Then why? Because Spring Boot 3.x version release is available. Then I need to update myself. I need to have some time. That's why I provided the classes right from 6 o'clock onwards. Even I requested there for everybody. But still sending these messages in a sense, just I'm thinking about it now. Otherwise, now tell me then. I want to just remove this total sessions there. Just only one session or two sessions I want to conduct 1.5 hour. That's finished. We are going to see the content there. After completion of this spring only, I want to start Spring Boot. Unnecessarily, why I'm taking this much of time here, this much of content here. I have a proper plan. So as per this plan, I'm going to take these sessions now. But still, if you're not interested, I don't have any concern about it. Just I want to conduct only two sessions. That's it. Only now. Even Hibernate also I want to postpone. Or otherwise, Hibernate and as well as Spring only. Normal. Spring Boot I want to start after completion of that Spring. No, just wait for it. Yeah. Thank you guys. Thanks a lot.